Hey guys, Godfather of Anxiety here. Just wanted to make a really short video about derealization and how to reconnect with your environment if you are going through or experiencing derealization. I've done other videos on this symptom, and it's one of the scariest symptoms I've ever dealt with, because it makes you feel as though that nothing is real. Like literally nothing. Like there's depersonalization, right? That's you not being real, and then derealization is your environment not being real. And both of them are so frightening. It's like, that feeling like, well, this is all a dream, but no, it really is just all a dream. And it's not it's tough to articulate how frightening that is, because like I've said many times on my channel, people with anxiety disorders, they tend to be people who are really intelligent, but who care really deeply about things, who love other people, who care about, they find things very important in their lives. And derealization robs you of that, because nothing seems real. Nothing seems real, and that's why that symptom is so frightening. And I'm going to go over a few things that I've done over the years that have helped me deal with this ridiculously frightening symptom, and have helped me to reconnect with my surroundings, so that even if this doesn't go away, it at least becomes a lot more mild and something that you can ignore or deal with. So, if you look this up online, you're going to see things like engaging your five senses. Now, it's really hard when things don't seem real to do this, but there are some things you can do. There's a technique they call the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and again, that's going through every sense and doing a number of things that engage each of your senses. So this does help if your derealization, especially if your derealization is mild or medium. This can help you to reconnect and to pull you out of that unreal feeling. If it's really bad, it might even amplify the feelings. It's just so weird, because it's like when people say, well, focus on your breathing or something when you're having panic attacks. When you feel like you're dying right then, you're not going to be able to practice or implement those techniques. You're just not. So that's why I tell you guys, the therapy part happens when you get yourself to start to come out of fight or flight. And that's with all of these conditions, and derealization as a symptom is the same way. So when your derealization is at its zenith, my experience has been the best thing you can do is to try desperately to ignore it. If you're successful at being able to engage your mind when you're having that, then great. Or your senses in some way, great. But sometimes it might be too bad for that. But some of the techniques I'm going to give you here are things that have worked for me specifically, that help me to remember that I'm real, that the people I love are real, and that my environment is real. So just quickly, I'll go over a few of these. For one thing, I find that being outside is a good way to make you feel a little more real. The outdoors in general is just a little more real. It's I don't know, somehow I connect better when I'm outside than when I'm inside. And this is especially true if you've been looking at the same four walls for a long time. Maybe you're battling agoraphobia or something, and you're experiencing derealization. Go outside, breathe in the air, look at the trees, look at the grass, look at things, look at the animals, depending on where you live. And this can help you to feel a little more real again. That's something I've done. Another thing, talk to someone, talk to your loved ones, engage them. ask them about something, a mutual experience, and have them recount it. Because guys, I'm telling you, when the derealization is extremely bad, you doubt that things really happened. So you'll let them go ahead and ask them and to recall an experience, and then they'll recall it, and there you go. See, so that's a shared experience that you know is real. This is giving you guys a little bit of a window into exactly how bad my derealization was. Another trick that I did, because I noticed when I went to work, my derealization would get really bad sometimes. So I made sure I brought a picture of my family and had a picture of my family in my wallet. So I would look at that. Another thing I did, and this is, again, some of this stuff's going to sound crazy, but not if you've had derealization. When I was 4 years old, I basically, cut the flesh off the end of my thumb. I sat on a broken bottle. I put my hand in back of me, and the end of my thumb, the flesh on the end of my thumb was just removed. So I have a rather substantial scar on my left thumb. And when I was really feeling disconnected and like this isn't real, none of this has been real, I would look down at the scar on my thumb, and it's always there. And it reminds me that this is real. Your life is real. Your memories are real. And that was the same purpose of the picture of my family. And this is just a kind of a humorous side point. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there, whether you're men or women, who maybe are in a relationship where you really feel like you've got the better end of the deal. And marrying my wife now 29 years ago, I way outkicked my coverage, guys. And just beautiful, beautiful woman. And, right now she looks probably about 25 years younger than me. But, so sometimes when I was trying to bring myself back to reality, looking at my wife would not be a good thing, because it's like, how did you ever end up marrying her? This must be a dream. And that's a funny side point, but that's how I felt when I was experiencing severe derealization. So so old scars, engage with loved ones, have them recount memories. Guys, another thing, if you're in a condition where you can drive, go someplace where you used to go. Where you can, anything to help you realize that your life has been real. Your life has had real consequences. That's why you connect with loved ones, whether it's your children, your spouse, your friends, whatever, so that it's real. And let them steer the ship a little, so that you don't feel like this is, the Truman Show. And again, for you guys out there who know what derealization and depersonalization are like, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's like, like you feel like this must be a dream or a play, or it's really a horrible feeling. And there were times when I felt so much derealization, I felt like, am I dead? Am I even here? So just an awful symptom to deal with. But anything you can do to engage your senses, to engage your mind, to prove that the events you remember really happened. Drive past an old place where you used to hang out, go to a grocery store or a restaurant, just to see, it's there, it's real. Anything that can get you to your mind to stop trying to contemplate whether or not you're actually, real, your environment's real. And again, if you can engage your senses, that's a great way to do it. Whether it's smells, sights, sounds, whatever. Touch is great, but anything you can do to get your mind engaged. And I like to look at old pictures. There's another thing I do to recount my life as something real that has really happened. And I just wanted to do this short video because it's such a it's such a scary symptom, and I've dealt with it on and off over the years. When it was really bad, guys, it's when I was having panic attacks. Those first 6 years, I dealt with this symptom constantly. If you've had panic attacks, you realize that you completely disconnect from your environment. Everything, derealization is at its zenith then. And implementing techniques during a panic attack is really not a realistic expectation. The thing that you do with a panic attack is you just let it happen. And I've made videos about that too. Just let it happen. Let it go. Nothing's going to happen. You're not going to die. You're not going to pass out. Just let it go. Just let it happen. Say, okay, I'm dying. Okay, I'm passing out. Whatever. Because I assure you guys, that's not what's going to happen. So, and that's when I had the worst derealization. But yeah, so get your mind to, if you can get your mind to focus on something real, tangible, and also try to get something accomplished. You know, it could be something as simple as mowing the lawn or cleaning the house. Once it's done, that'll be something you can say, there, I did an action and that's what it looks like. Anything to get your mind to stop focusing on how things feel and how things don't look right and wow, this is different. Oh, and then your anxiety plays into it and you feel even more unreal. I just want to keep you guys from that. And I figured I'd give you a few tips that have helped me over the years. That have helped me to reconnect and remember who I am and remember this is real and this is important, right? None of us are here very long in this life, but what we do, who we love, the relationships we form, these are the important things, and they do count and they are real. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for engaging with the channel. Like, share, subscribe. I love the comments. Keep them coming. And until my next video, take care.